For about a month now, I've been testing the OnePlus Nord CE, and in this video, I'll be giving you the good and bad about the smartphone and whether you should buy it or not. But before that, one thing I really want to know is the thought behind the timing of this phone's release. Like, why did OnePlus release the Nord CE so close to the launch of the Nord 2?
सारे मिलके हमको पागल बना रहे हैं.
Hello everyone, Aman here for Mr. Phone, and before we get rolling, OnePlus on that subscribe button and press that bell icon as well so that you don't miss any of our latest videos. Overall, the OnePlus Nord CE is a decent smartphone, but as I said, its timing is totally off, and not just that, its pricing is off as well. So the timing part. Well, this phone that is supposedly the affordable version of the OnePlus Nord should have been released sometime around January earlier this year, and not around this time when the Nord 2 is so close to its launch. Where does this leave the consumers? I mean, just imagine the people who bought the OnePlus Nord CE thinking it is new, and suddenly their new toy will become obsolete because a newer toy is coming out next week. And next, the pricing. I don't even understand what was OnePlus thinking to price it so close to the original Nord when they could have just slashed the price of the Nord and kept it on sale when the Nord 2 gets released. See, I feel the original Nord would have been a better package at a lower price, but anyway, for now, let's talk about the differences between these two smartphones. Let's talk about the camera. On paper, the OnePlus Nord CE features triple rear cameras that have a 64 megapixel main lens and 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. At the front is a 16 megapixel lens for selfies. On the other hand, the OnePlus Nord features a quad rear camera setup that comes with a 48 megapixel main lens with OIS, coupled with an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera, a 5 megapixel depth camera and a 2 megapixel macro camera. At the front, there's a dual camera setup featuring a 32 megapixel main lens coupled with an 8 megapixel ultra-wide angle lens. The Nord CE definitely fares better when it comes to the megapixel count, but in terms of actual quality, it is the OnePlus Nord that fares better. And while both of these phones don't have the best cameras in the mid-range segment, but still in between the two, I feel the OnePlus Nord is the better choice. This photo, while not captured perfectly from the OnePlus Nord, still has tried to keep the colors of the wall tiles brown, which was close to accurate. But in the Nord CE's output, I don't know why was it leaning towards a reddish sort of a tone. In this other photo, the Nord CE totally messed up the exposure of the white tiles on the ground, and upon zooming in, you'll also notice the softer details on our resident gamer's shirt. Now, when clicking daylight photos, 95% of the time I found the Nord CE to give me output with washed out colors. It's like the camera algorithm doesn't know a thing about contrast and vibrancy. Now, in this photo of mine, while the dynamic range is absolutely off in the Nord's output, while the Nord CE has the clouds blown out totally. And if you look at me, well, first, my shirt isn't as purple as the Nord CE is trying to show, and my skin tone is for sure not as saturated as this. What's with the reddish hue? I don't understand. Similarly, in this portrait mode photo as well, again the Nord CE has tried to oversaturate the skin tone, and in this one as well, messed up the skin tones again. And again in these selfies, which are not perfect in Nord's output but still look much better than the ones taken from the Nord CE. As for the photos taken in not so good lighting with and without nightscape, none of these phones is any good. You can still get better exposed shots from the Nord's camera, but then again, both phones' outputs are nothing special. Finally, these are how the videos look from both phones' cameras, and while the Nord still has plenty of work to do when it comes to dealing with shadows and not blowing up the highlights, in between the two, there's still a stark difference, guys. Be it the colors, contrast or stabilization. Mind you, the Nord has OIS versus EIS on the Nord CE, which is why whether it is a 4K video or a 1080p video, the output comes out with too many judders on the Nord CE. And as I was saying, overall, definitely the Nord is once again better than the Nord CE. Front-facing video sample being shot on the OnePlus Nord and the OnePlus Nord CE, you can clearly see that the second lens gives the advantage of a wider field of view on the OnePlus Nord versus the Nord CE. And even in terms of video recording capabilities, the OnePlus Nord can shoot up to 4K 60 FPS videos, while the OnePlus Nord CE can only do 1080p 60 FPS videos. These are 30 FPS videos, 4K on the Nord and 1080p on the Nord CE. See for yourself, guys, which one do you think so is doing a better job? In terms of field of view, definitely the Nord is better. In terms of stabilization, I think so both are doing a good job. But yeah, which phone's audio sounds better? Let me know in the comments. And overall output, which one do you think so? Which phone is producing a better output overall? Everything in the comments. Cheers. So you just saw the camera performance of both these smartphones, and without a shadow of a doubt, I think so the Nord's camera is definitely better. And is it 2000 rupees better than the camera of the Nord CE? Yes sir. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, then a like would be deeply appreciated, and while you're at it, hit the red subscribe button and also turn on the bell. Moving on, in terms of build, while the Nord CE with its slim plastic construction and lightweight design is ergonomic, it doesn't match the premium feeling the glass back gives on the OnePlus Nord. Mind you, on the front, the OnePlus Nord features Gorilla Glass 5 protection versus Asahi Dragon Trail Glass protection on the Nord CE. And Dragon Trail Glass is fine, no major complaints, but it still isn't a match for the Gorilla Glass 5. Coming to the display, so both these phones have about the same 6.4-inch AMOLED panels with a 90Hz refresh rate, and OnePlus does, by the way, tell you on its site that the Nord's display is HDR10+ compliant, while there's no mention of the same about the Nord CE. So in terms of actual quality, both of them have excellent AMOLED panels, but ever so slightly I prefer the one on the Nord because it is naturally a little warmer in comparison to that of the Nord CE, something that I personally prefer, and maybe because of that I felt that the Nord's panel was slightly easier on the eyes as well. Apart from this, the alert slider is also gone, a bad move, and the haptics are poor on the Nord CE, which is again sad. I mean, the Nord's haptics are so good and crisp, so why? By now, you must be thinking, is there anything that is right with the OnePlus Nord CE? Well, yes, actually two things, one major and one minor. So the major one being the battery life and the minor one being the headphone jack. Yes, the 3.5mm headphone jack is present on the OnePlus Nord CE. If you want to know more about the battery, I would suggest you please watch my battery comparison video of the OnePlus Nord CE versus the OnePlus Nord. So you get a 4500 mAh battery under the hood, which supports 30-watt fast charging on the OnePlus Nord CE, and generally speaking, using the phone day to day, I could easily go on for about 1.5 days with medium to heavy use, and sometimes even 2 days on a light usage. In terms of connectivity, both phones support only one 5G band, nothing great here. However, for now, there's carrier aggregation, which is good. Call quality and network reception have also been rock solid on both smartphones, and I have no complaints regarding that. In terms of audio quality though, both phones have a single bottom firing speaker, and once again it is the Nord that sounds richer and louder in my opinion, while many times I felt the Nord CE's audio was distorting at high volumes. Here's a sample. Okay, finally, before closing the video, let's talk about the software and performance of the smartphone as well. First, the latter. So the Nord CE is powered by the Snapdragon 750G chipset, and this makes the phone very well equipped to handle any sort of daily task. Even while gaming for long sessions, while the phone does get warm to the touch over longer durations, it can very well handle the load, and even comparing it with the Nord, both phones are more or less the same when it comes to the performance. Although Oxygen OS 11 based on Android 11 on the Nord CE has been very unstable. Initially when I started using this phone, I had issues with animations and frame drops across the UI, plus I noticed quite a lot of shutter lag while taking photos. However, just recently after receiving a software patch, things have been very smooth. Thankfully, I haven't come across any frame drops across the UI, nor did I see any sort of shutter lag while using the camera as well. But then just while I was writing the script for this video, I noticed that the always on display was not working. I really hope the partnership with Oppo does good things for OnePlus. So anyway, after watching this video, where do the things stand? Should you buy the OnePlus Nord CE, or should you buy the OnePlus Nord, or should you wait and buy the OnePlus Nord 2 when it comes out? I know there's a lot of confusion here, but here's what I think. In my opinion, the pricing of the Nord CE is totally off, and making it 2000 rupees cheaper and offering double the storage in the base variant in comparison to the Nord doesn't justify its pricing. For now, I would say wait for the OnePlus Nord 2, and I also know that its price is going to be between 30 to 35,000. So if you're looking for an exchange offer and also include the bank offers and discounts, with all of that included, I think so you should get a good deal on the OnePlus Nord 2. And for those purchasing a brand new phone altogether with a budget of about 20 to 25,000, for you guys, I would suggest considering options such as the iQOO Z3 or the Mi 11 Lite. So that was my review of the OnePlus Nord CE. So guys, what are your thoughts about this smartphone? Are you planning to get this one, or have you already got this one? Or are you planning to skip this one now after watching this video? Everything in the comments below. As always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Mr. Phone. I'll catch you guys in the very next one. Thank you for watching.